Greetings, adventurers. Welcome to Morrowind. It is I, your guide, Commander Calgon. Let us continue on with our adventures. Come, Caius, tell us what we must do. I've thought it over, and I want you to interview 3 informants in Vivek City concerning Nerevarine and the 6th House. First, I want you to speak with Adhyanar, a Khajiit Thieves Guild operative. Second, I want you to speak with Julia, an Argonian in the Morag Tong. Finally, I want you to speak with Mahara Milo, a temple priestess. Here, I've written details below so that you won't forget. And here are 200 drakes for bribes and other expenses. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we go to Vivek. Ah! Shit. That was embarrassing. I fell in the river. Everybody was watching. It was most dishonorable.
We make a special trip just for you.
Excellent.
Say no, pride.
Let's go to Vivek.
We make a special trip just for you. Same low pride.
It's funny, you sound exactly like the guy at the other one. Alright, so St. Olms, Julia, Argonian Foreign Corner, at the Black Shulk Corner Club, Myra at Temple at the Hall of Wisdom in the Temple Compound. Okay. Chanter. A Fletcher? What's a Fletcher? Oh. Okay. Oh. Okay, so what do we got up here? Right, there goes the outside. We got
Khajiit has no words for you.
basic trader. Hold on. Looks like some.
Speak, traveler.
Oh. Not specialist, just general. Everybody's just training. Or not training, but. Selling some goods here and there. In particular, no doors down this way. No doors down that way. And no doors down that way. Alright, so I'm assuming this goes back outside. There's an upper level. Porter Plaza. No.
Anytime you're ready. Just don't keep me waiting.
Smith, Fighters Guild.
Watch yourself. We'll have no trouble here.
Mage's Guild. And another Smith. Okay, so we got 2 Smiths. Upper corner, Fighters Guild, and Mage's Guild. Oh man. Take this, friend. I think everyone should read this leaflet. It has important information on it. It has important information on it. Something must be done. Alright, what's on the leaflet? You've intrigued me. Beware, have no dealings with Arang Furness. She is known to be both underhanded and unethical in her dealings. The materials she uses are both shoddy and dangerous. You could come to great harm from her products. Avoid her shop at all costs. I took a potion, got sick, lost good lunch. Her materials looked old and stale, not good for alchemical use. She should be disemboweled and fed to Nick's house. That's good. Ah, I gotta break character for that. That was she should be disemboweled and fed to the Nick's house. Ooh boy. Alright. That escalated. Anyways. We shall continue on. Could you please move? Whoa, hey, do I know you? Seren or a
Speak, traveler.
Orphelin? Apothecary. Alchemist. Rare books.
Quickly, Outlander. I haven't much time. If you're here for trouble, you'll get more than you bargained for.
Not here for trouble, my good man. Not here for trouble at all. Good man, not here for trouble at all. I seek the corner club, of which I cannot seem to find. Perhaps I simply need to speak. Perhaps I need to travel further underneath. Oh shit. No, I don't want to deal with you right now. Ah, shnikes. Is that a corner club?
Your bones
Whoa.
will be my dinner.
What? Fuck you. What the hell is this asshole doing to me? I think I'm not gonna win this. Oh, yo. Of course I am. By how much? Okay, that's a shrine. That is not a corner club. I don't recall seeing a corner club anywhere in the Fallen Quarter, and it's bothersome.
Speak, traveler.
It is curious to me. Our books. Ugh. Goodness gracious, all that problematicness.
Summoned by another. Questions again.
I welcome you as the friend of my friend Dravengur, but I wish to go to my friend's bookstore and these troublesome fools are in my way. I have tried to persuade them, but they hate my race and I fear there will be violence. Perhaps if you will speak to them, but be careful and be ready.
What is it, Sarah?
Am I talking to you, Fetcher? Oh, you called me a Fetcher, you son of a... Wow, I'm spending all my money.
A warm welcome to you, Sarah.
I should have just killed them.
What is...
Yes, thank you very much. We should be free from distraction here. Now, I said I'd tell you about the Nerevering cult so you can report back to Caius. And I don't know of any 6th house cult, but I'll tell you what I know. Nerevering cult. To understand the Nerevarine cult, you must understand the history of the Ashlanders. Nerevar means something very different to the Ashlanders from what he means to Dunmer of the Great Houses. You should also know about the persecution of the Nerevarine and the legacy of the false incarnate, for the Nerevarine cult is at the heart of the ancient conflict between the nomadic Ashlanders and the settled Great House Dunmer. Here is a summary for Caius, but ask your questions and I'll answer in detail. Ashlanders. The Ashlanders hate the House Dunmer, who have become soft and who have abandoned traditional ancestor worship for the gods of the tribunal. And the Ashlanders hate Outlanders, who invaded and stole their land and forced them to live as a subject people. A reborn Nerevar who would drive out the Outlander invaders, destroy the false worship of the tribunal, and restore the pure traditional life and faith of the nomads who would be a very popular hero to the Ashlanders. In the past, some have claimed to be the reincarnated Nerevar. The most recent is known as Peakstar, a figure of legend among the Waste tribes for the last 30 years. The temple says these false incarnates disprove the prophecies, since the false incarnates fail and come to nothing. But the mystical Nerevarine cult glorifies rather than shrinks from contradictions, citing the appearance of the failed incarnates as certain proof of Nerevar's coming rebirth. The temple treats the Nerevarine prophecies as heresy, and the temple imprisons and executes heretics unless prevented by imperial law. But since the Nerevarine cult is hostile to the Empire does not interfere when the temple persecutes the cult. Ashlanders hate the temple, and particularly the Ordinators, for their ruthless treatment of the Nerevarine cultists. I've never heard of such a thing. House Dagoth was the sixth house. But in the War of the First Council, they betrayed the other great houses and were destroyed for their treason. But I've never heard of anyone worshipping them. Dagoth the ancient head of House Dagoth, is the devil of the tribunal faith, but I've never heard of anyone worshipping him either. Alright, well, that's good information. We're here.
Dunmer.
Okay, so we've met up with Julia, which is cool. Let's we're full up on stuff, so let's go. Let us go drop.
We're
Okay.
watching you, scum.
Really? That was inflammatory, my good man. You don't seem to know who the hell I am. I am Draven Gur. I am the hero of Balmora, and I will end you. Fool. Let's get on with our quest. The nerve. Thieves Guild Opera in St. Olms. Let us find the district that we need. St. Olms is out this way. Damn, that infuriated me. Yes, here we go. St. Olms Canton. A Thieves Guild operative. What are the chances that the Thieves Guild operative is actually going to be easy to find? I'm looking for a friend of mine, a female Khajiit. Ah, so am I.
Yes.
Right, let's go downstairs first. Start bottom to top. Wait, this is a Khajiit? Oh, wow, moon sugar addict. Right on. Nothing of interest. Alright, let's go. Yo! Khajiit? Is that a... Hey, Adhirnar! Great, so Kaya says to you, speak with Adhirnar. And you have done this thing. You are speaking with Adhirnar. But Adhirnar will not talk to you about the Nerevarine or Sixth House cult. Because why? Because Adahirnan is, at this moment, very distracted by a nice census excisation who also wants to speak with her. You do not know this? They are the collectors of the Emperor's taxes and tariffs, and the Emperor has outlawed trade in many things, like Dunmer artifacts and ebony, and a census and excise agent will enjoy being a pest about such things. For several reasons, a census and excise agent is not Adahirnar's favorite person. If you want Adahirnar to help you, make the bad agent go away. Then she will tell you things. Okay, well, that's pretty straightforward.
You have questions?
Yeah, but you don't have answers. All you have is drugs, and drugs are not an answer, dear sir. Moon sugar will not save you.
If you're here for trouble, you'll get more than you bargained for.
What's this about?
Yes, as I've said, I'm looking for a friend of mine, a female Khajiit named Adahirnar. I thought you might be able to tell me where to find her. Yes, her name is Adahirnar and she is Khajiit. Do you know where to find her? No, she just took a gondola to the mainland. What a disappointment, but thank you for your time. I was just heading back to the mainland myself anyway, and maybe I'll run into her there. Excellent. I've lied. Peace. Peace, homie. Good luck going to the mainland. He wasn't going to the mainland. He wasn't going to the mainland at all, dear friends. We have sent him on a quest to nowhere. So, you are the one Adahirnar must thanks for getting rid of the annoying census and excise agent. Indeed, Adahirnar is very glad to see you, and very happy to tell a friend of my good friend Caius all about the Sixth House cult. And Adahirnar knows nothing about the Nerevarine, but Adahirnar is happy to tell you that too, if it makes Caius happy. Always ask away, friend Dravengur. Sixth House cult. This Adahirnar knows about, because it is about smuggling. Some smart smugglers were suddenly too busy for their old clients, because they have a new employer, the Sixth House, who pays very well. But what do they smuggle now? Adahirnar doesn't know, because they are very secret. And this is odd, because these smugglers are always loud and bragging, and now they hush up like fat-bellied kitties full of sweetmeats. Smuggling is big business. The Empire says we can't trade skooma, moon sugar, ebony, Dunmer artifacts, exotic Dunmer weapons, and armor, and slaves, so smugglers trade these things. Smugglers also smuggle grief, shine, and sujama to avoid imperial tax. And now the Sixth House hires smugglers, though what they smuggle, Adahirnar cannot say. Alright. So we got what we needed out of Adahirnar. Oh. A floating rock. Well, that's normal. Hall of Wisdom. Who are we here to see again? Ram Milo. Idar Aravel.
I can already tell I'm
Find
not
someone
going
else
to
to
like
love.
this.
Not now, Outlander. Head on.
Yes, I'm Mihra Milo. Kaya sent you? Follow me in the back of the library. We can't talk here. Go ahead. I'm afraid I don't know anything about a Sixth House cult, but I can tell you about the Nerevarine cult. The temple worships Nerevar as a saint and a hero, but prophecies of his reincarnation are punished as wicked heresy. The Nerevarine cult claims the tribunal are false gods, hence the temple's persecution of the Nerevarine cult. A group called the Dissident Priests disputes temple doctrine on the Nerevarine prophecies. The prescribed book, Progress of Truth, describes their beliefs. Get a copy of Progress of Truth for Caius Cosades. That will tell him the things he needs to know about the Nerevarine cult. Dagoth-Ur is the evil immortal enemy of the tribunal temple cult. The temple holds Dagoth-Ur and his hosts accountable for all the evils that beset the Dunmer and Morrowind. Dagoth-Ur dwells in fiery caverns beneath red mountains, served by his kin called ash vampires and by legions of deformed monsters. The dissident priests dispute temple doctrine and are outlawed and persecuted by the temple. Ordinators arrest and imprison heretics, and the Empire cannot interfere. Progress of Truth lists their beliefs. In brief, they challenge the purity and divinity of the tribunal, suggesting their powers are sorcerous, not divine, and perhaps akin to the powers of Dagoth-Ur. They also condemn the arbitrary power of the Ordinators and accuse the temple hierarchy of self-interest and corruption. Disturbing dreams. That means nothing to me. Perhaps you wouldn't know, but the temple regards disturbing dreams as a sign of soul sickness, a sign that the mind is deranged by impure impulses and dangerous feelings. The Ashlanders have many superstitions about dreams, but they have superstitions about everything. Progress of Truth. This book lists and disputes the dissident priests with tribunal temple doctrines. The temple has outlawed the sale or possession of the book, so it will be hard to find. We have a copy here, but I fear I'm being watched by the Ordinators. A safer plan would be to search local booksellers. Some booksellers ignore temple bans on outlawed books for profits or principles. Okay, so we want to go back to the foreign quarter and contact and look for the bookseller, and to see if he has a copy of this Progress of Truth on hand. If we are lucky, he will have one. If we are not lucky, he will not have one. In which case, we will have to go on a pilgrimage to find the book. Jobasha. I wish to purchase something from you, Jobasha. As a Khajiit, I assume you've got no problem selling books that you shouldn't sell. Progress of Truth.
You want something? Tidings.
Yes, Julio. I hope that you have a wonderful time here, and that you don't... that nobody bothers you. You seem like a nice Argonian. I call you friend, and friend you shall remain, until such time as you betray me. And now, report back to Caius. We have what we need. But before we do so, Progress of Truth, compiled by the Dissident Priests. Excerpt. Concerning the points of temple doctrine challenged by the Dissident Priests. 1. The divinity of the tribunal. Temple doctrine claims their apotheosis was miraculously achieved through questing, virtue, knowledge, testing, and battling with evil. Temple doctrine claims their divine powers and immortality are ultimately conferred as a communal judgment by the Dunmer ancestors, including, among others, the good Daedra, the prophet Beloth, and Saint Nerevar. Dissident priests ask whether Dagoth-Ur's power and the tribunal's power might ultimately derive from the same source. Red Mountain. Sources in the Apocrypha suggest that the tribunal relied on profanely enchanted tools to achieve godhead, and that those unholy devices were the ones originally created by the ungodly Dwemer sorcerer Kagrenik to create the false construct Numidium. 2. The purity of the tribunal. The dissident priests say that the temple has always maintained a public face, represented by the hieroglypha, the priestly writings, and a hidden face, represented by the apocrypha, the hidden writings. The public account portrays the actions of the tribunal in a heroic light, while the hidden writings reveal secrets, untruths, inconsistencies, conflicting accounts, and varying interpretations which hint at darker and less heroic motives and actions of the tribunes. In particular, conflicting accounts of the Battle of Red Mountain raise questions about the tribunal's conduct and about the source of their subsequent apotheosis. Also, there is good evidence that the tribunal have been concealing the true nature of the threat posed by Dagoth-Ur at Red Mountain, misleading the people about the tribunal's ability to protect Morrowind from Dagoth-Ur, and concealing a recent dramatic diminishing of the tribunal's magical powers. Number 3. Temple accounts of the Battle of Red Mountain. Ashlander tradition does not place the tribunal at Red Mountain, and holds that the Dwemer destroyed themselves rather than that Nerevar destroyed them. Ashlander tradition further holds that Nerevar left Dagoth-Ur guarding the profane secrets of Red Mountain while Nerevar went to confer with the Great Council, i.e. the Tribunal, that Nerevar died at the conference, not of his wounds, according to the Ashlanders, but from treachery, and that subsequently the Tribunal confronted the defiant Dagoth-Ur within Red Mountain, then drove Dagoth-Ur beneath Red Mountain when he would not yield to their will. Number 4. Veneration of the Daedra, Saints, and Ancestors. While challenging the divinity of the Tribunal, the dissidents do not challenge the sainthood or heroism of the Tribunal. In fact, the dissident priests advocate restoring many of the elements of fundamentalist ancestor worship as practiced by the Ashlanders and by Saint Veloth. Exactly how this would work is debated inconclusively within the dissident priests. Number 5. Denial of the prophecies of the Incarnate and persecution of the Nerevarines. Though no consensus exists amongst the dissidents about whether the Nerevarine prophecies are genuine, all agree that the persecution of the Nerevarines is unjust and politically motivated. The dissident priests do not reject mysticism, revelation, or prophecy as part of the religious experience. The dissidents have not resolved the issue of true or false insights. They have studied the mysticism of the Ashlander ancestor cults, in particular the rites of the Ashlander seers and wise women, and the prophecies of the Incarnate. Many among the dissident priests have come to believe that the Nerevarine prophecies are genuine, and have made a systematic study of prophecies recorded in temple archives. Number 6. Authority of the Arcanon and Ordinators. The dissident priests reject the authority of the Arcanon and the Ordinators. The temple hierarchy has been corrupted by self-interest in politics and no longer acts in the best interest of the temple or its worshippers. The dissident priests believe the Arcanon and Ordinators speak for themselves, not for the tribunal. Number 7. The Inquisition and the use of terror and torture by the Ordinators. Within the temple hierarchy, it is an open secret that the Ordinators rely on abduction, terror, torture, and secret imprisonment to discourage heresy and dissent. The dissident priests feel the Ordinators are either out of control or tools used to maintain a corrupt priesthood in power. Number 8. Fundamentals of temple doctrine, charity for the poor, education for the ignorant, protection for the weak. Though the dissident priests acknowledge that most rank-and-file priests honor the best traditions of the temple, they believe that many priests in higher ranks are interested more in love of authority and luxury than in the welfare of the poor, weak, and ignorant. So in essence, what that's telling us is that the tribunal is keeping secrets and that they are not telling the truth, that they may have been directly involved in the killing of the Nerevar, and that basically the priesthood is corrupt, and that the Ordinators are their tool of oppression, essentially. That does not sit well with Dravengur. Now I will take this information back to Caius Cosades. And we shall find out exactly what he wants us to do.
My pleasure, really.
Orders. I have your report, and I'll make copies of your notes from Julia and the Progress of Truth. Give me time to read and digest all of this. In the meantime, I'm promoting you to journeyman. You're doing good work. And here are 200 drakes. Go out and treat yourself to a new pair of shoes. And go do some jobs for the guilds or other freelance work, just to keep your cover story current, or get some training. Then when you're fit and rested, come back and I'll have new orders for you. Thank you, Caius. I very much appreciate it. I am in service to the Blades. In any case, ladies and gentlemen, this is disturbing news that the tribunal, that the temple is corrupt in this land. And it certainly seems that this Nerevarine cult and the Sixth House, which keeps annoying me on the streets of Balmora, well, it all seems a little too coincidental to me. I'm still questioning why the Emperor... Why did the Emperor let me out of prison and bring me to this bleak place? But we shall find out more. In the meantime, if you found this tale to your liking, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell notification to be alerted by courier whenever a new tale is available. And if you so see fit, follow me on Twitter at Commander Calgon, on Facebook, Commander Calgon. And until next time, be safe, adventurers, or not. No judgment. Adieu.